Hi guys, it's me, Melissa. We're going to do the tarot study today. Today is the death card, number 13. This card is pretty cool. I love this imagery on here. So let me see if I can do this and hold the card up for you guys. Okay. Hope everything's going good with you guys today, this week. But here's the death. There are alternate names of the death card. One of them is mortality, transformation. It's also sometimes called the number 13, or 13 for its number. It has a link with the Emperor. The astrological sign is Scorpio, the Scorpion. Its element is water. Its Hebrew letter is Nun or Nun. Symbol, the fish. Meaning is decline and rebirth. Tree of pathway, life's pathway is 14 between Netzach and Tiphareth. The chakra is Alta Major for the past and past lives. Its key meaning is transformation and change. So the death card isn't one that we should fear because, and the death card is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. It is one of my signs for my astrological cards. It means transformation. Sorry guys, I just got done eating lunch. My stomach was growling, so I feel like I have stuff in my teeth. Okay, so understanding the death card. So let's understand this better. The death's image is unmistakable. Unlike the hangman, a common motif is the 15th century, but a puzzle to us today. Death's Grim Reaper is eternally understood as an immutable part of our earthly existence. Triumph with his scythe and hood, sometimes riding a horse. Skeletal death is a reminder of our human fatality. Yet death is also the bringer of necessary change and is not a sign of physical death of a person in the present or the future. He heralds the end of an era when what is not needed is taken, so the next phase can begin. Without him, we would have no clear sight of what might be possible. Death is the reaper. Death as the reaper brings in the harvest, which is shown by the 5 ears of corn on his standard or his flag. Can you see those? Whatever is worth having will be saved, but what is irrelevant will be taken. On the Rider-Waite card, the death's influence affects all people regardless of status, shown by the people on the card at various stages of death or surrender. From the bishop to the child, the king to the maiden. This is the medieval dance of death, a common subject in paintings at that era. His black armor and pale horse follow the description of death, one of the 4 horsemen in the apocalypse, described in the New Testament in the book of Revelations. In the major arcana sequence, death arrives after the hanged man. a logical progression in that death must be the consequence of hanging. But this is spiritual death in rebirth after a time of contemplation. The card that follows death is Temperance. When we begin to assimilate our past, present, and future to come to a greater understanding of our potential. The death's number 13 is traditionally unlucky, but in numerology, it reduces to 4. The Emperor, which promises that a new order will come after death, has cleared the way. A sun silhouette, the city. This is both sunset and sunrise, or a simultaneously ending and a beginning. Sorry, guys. Death in astrology. Scorpio is named after the scorpion, which kills with a swift sting. And unsurprisingly, it is the astrological sign associated with death. Its dates are October 23rd through November 22nd. Mark the period after the harvest when leaves fall and we stock up for winter. Scorpio is associated with death and sex, dying and creation, just as death brings an ending before fertile new life with the spring. The death and the Kabbalah. Death and Kabbalah. The Hebrew letter associated with death is Nun, N-U-N, or Nun, which means fish, a symbol of sexuality and sperm. In climax, this is the Pete Mort, the little death, which leads us to Nun's connotation of decline and rebirth. On the Tree of Life, death is placed on the 14th pathway between the sphere of Netzach and Tipereth, or the cycles of nature, rebirth, and growth. Okay. Let me get that out of my tooth. I'm sorry, guys. It's driving me crazy. Death brings endings and beginning, sometimes all at once. This is a time of fast and deep transformation and an opportunity to let go of whatever you no longer need. Unlike the judgment, which signals a process of elimination, death's impact is sudden and may be shocking. You have little control over external events when death looms, but in time it will be able to see this sharp change in circumstances as a blessing. The break with the past, from relationships and friendships to work that is no longer satisfying, is the only way forward. In this sense, death can be released and a relief. Death, after all, is the ultimate reality check and leaves you with the bare bones, the truth. Okay, so it's not death like us dying. It's getting rid of something from the past or starting fresh, getting rid of the old that no longer serves us. So in the home, you find a new home. The place you are living no longer meets your needs. New circumstances may offer an opportunity to relocate. In relationships, a relationship ends, or there is a period of necessary separation. In friendships, there will be an opportunity to reconnect when the time is right. Career and money. Signifying a career change or the ending of business partnerships or ways of bringing in an income. Death also suggests new opportunities are on the horizon. Financially, this is a tough time, but money matters will improve, so hold on tight. The reverse meaning. Death reversed has virtually the same meaning as the card in the upright position, But the difference is in your reaction. You may feel anxious and stressed, unable to comprehend what is happening, rather than being accepting. When death is reversed, the universe is telling you that there is no way back. A relationship cannot be mended, and the employer won't change their mind. If you do a second reading and ask the question again, this card can appear after you have already had death upright as a final confirmation of your question. The wisdom message: swift change brings new beginnings. Okay, so the symbols on this death card. Okay. The standard flag. Okay. It shows a little white rose and 5 ears of corn. The rose symbolizes renewal and the corn, the harvest. Death takes his harvest of souls and leaves the grain, the truth of the decision. His black armor. Trying to get my arm comfortable here. Black symbolizes loss and endings. Death is protected by his armor, whereas his chosen ones have no protection. The pale horse. The pale horse of death, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, links the death card with judgment. The 4 horsemen bring an apocalypse upon the world before the last judgment. Okay, his red feather. His red feather symbolizes the life force. Here it is shown wilted and dying. Okay, the bishop and the child. The bishop and the child. The innocent child and godly bishop are both shown in yellow to symbolize their pity. They look directly at the figure of death, their purity protecting them from fear, while the other victims turn away. The city gates. Okay, the city gates up here. Death's rampage takes place outside the city walls because traditionally, burial grounds were established away from the cities for hygiene reasons. On the card, the city gates represent the gates of heaven. The sun rising and or setting shows the dawn of a new era and a closing of a present era. The ship. The boat or ship is a signifier in many ancient beliefs for the journey the soul takes to the afterlife. The riverbed is marsh-like and suggests the Styx, the mythological Greek river over which the souls of death were carried to the unknown world. This also links the death's element of water. In Christianity, the boat is a old symbol for Christ and the church. So guys, that is the death meanings in The Ultimate Guide to Tarot by Liz Dean. Okay, now we're going to go on to the Radiant Rider weight meaning of the death card. Okay, I have to put this up because when I look down, my glasses, the bifocals in these glasses, I can't read. So that's why sometimes I have a little difficulty with my reading. But if the book is up, I can see. So it doesn't make much sense. Death. The idea of death can be a scary thing, and seeing it in a spread can be dubious at best. Although it sometimes indicates physical death, a more likely interpretation deals with the end of a particular phase in life. Change, metamorphosis, and transition are the watchwords for this death card. This card also illustrates the importance of dying to our sinful nature. It encourages setting aside fixations like greed, lust, addiction, in order to live free. At its simplest, the death card can indicate a swift change in life that forces a loss to make room for gain. The biggest lesson death offers is to take nothing for granted. Okay, things to ask if you draw this card. How will my life be different if I accept change rather than to resist it? How can I slow down and get to the basics? How can I take a more effective stand for my beliefs? What if every ending meant a new beginning? Okay, the death says to you, change is inevitable. You can either rail against the idea of death and endings, or you can move with these transitions. The stance you take can make all the difference between peace or conflict in your life. You make the choice. So the key meanings of the cards, the upright is ending, transition, impermanence, and inevitability. The reverse is rigid, resistance, taking a stand, and back to basics. So the upright meaning, the core meaning of the card. Our only guarantee in life is change. Endings are inevitable. The trick is to lay ourselves bare to loss. Doing so will make transitions easier and allow new opportunities to enter our lives. Okay, love. You and your loved one may be struggling with some issues that are bigger than you are able to handle. It is time to make a hard decision whether to stay or to leave the relationship. And money. Your relationship with money is unhealthy. Explore other sources of value that do not diminish, like love or spiritual wealth. In your career, cutbacks, layoffs, and downsizing may affect your career. Suppress the urge to react or respond with fear. A door closing means a window opening. In family, a harsh reality with the family has left you feeling vulnerable and empty. Move forward. The awkwardness will abate in time. Be patient. So the reverse meanings, the core meaning. It's going to feel like the whole world is railing against you, your efforts to stand for your beliefs. Your surroundings are moving and transitioning so fast, it's going to be hard to stay resolute in the midst of chaos. Keep your footing. In love, consider taking a break in a relationship. You have to figure out who you are and what you need before the relationship can go further. Money. Others have ulterior motives that might not be in your best interests. Rely on your own resources and instincts before trusting your finances to others. Career. It's time to get back to basics. A simple work ethic, basic skills, and common senses are eliminated for success. Family. You had an idea, but no one else is following your leadership. Stand your ground. Others will see your passion and eventually come around. Okay, guys? So that is the death card. Again, the death card does not mean physical death. It can, but it doesn't usually. It means change. It means the ending of a cycle or a period or something. Okay, guys, so I hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Let's get those views in up to 4,000 and let's get our subscribers to 1,000. And once we do that, I'm going to give a giveaway. I believe it's going to be a deck. I'm not sure yet. So stay tuned so you guys can find out more about that. So I love you guys and I wish you all the best in life. I love you. Have a great day, guys.